Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA. So on the ADA chart, the price has not sustained above this potential triangle. It did break out briefly, but then failed and came together with Bitcoin. It was looking quite good, quite promising, because this was, considered a wave 4 triangle or a flat correction. But with the wave 4 triangle breakout to the upside, we considered that it might already, that wave 4 already completed, right? However, well, it was here, like the wave 4 here. However, we could now make it easy for us and say, well, it made a new high, there could be wave 5, right? Technically valid, but it would mean that this here is already the main wave 4. In this scenario, then the price is already cutting into the wave 1 price region, and the third wave did not reach my first ideal target at 120, which is the 138% extension, which is usually the first ideal target as per our Fibonacci guidelines for a third wave. So I don't want to call the third wave complete. It certainly doesn't look great, for an upside impulse, but ADA is one of the few coins that's still upholding the potential for an upside impulse. So that means the parameters haven't changed. Yeah, the wave count has changed on the micro level, but not the parameters, and they are really what matters. So the support area we talked about in recent days is still relevant, right? It's between 96.7 cents and $1 now. The price has already reached the 38.2 retracement at $1. Is that a problem? No, normally the 38.2 retracement is an ideal target for a fourth wave, right? It normally is an ideal target for an internal fourth wave. It's not in any way a problem. It's what is, however, a warning is that it still looks quite deep compared to what the wave 2 did down here. It's quite a massive wave 4, but it's valid. But if it drops much further from here, especially if it takes out the 96.7 cent level, it will become more likely that this is not an upside impulse. I mean, below the 50% retracement, it's definitely something different. We would then need to consider maybe a diagonal pattern. That is what becomes more likely on several altcoin charts right now. See, I could already label it like that, okay, so that you know what might be coming. I prefer you to show these alternative interpretations before we have to make a change. Essentially, not much would change, but it would mean that this pullback could be a bit deeper. I don't want to we are considering, obviously, still, let's say, something more bearish. I mean, it could still be a still unfolding fourth wave, which is why I leave this support area where it is. It still is relevant, right? The one between 64 cents and 76 cents. This is also the one that I have on the daily chart, okay? But for now, we don't want to get, let's say, too bearish just because we see a few red candles. That's one of the mistakes many people make. They get swayed by the sentiment of the market. Even though here, technically speaking, yes, it invalidated the fifth wave up that might have already started or that we considered had already started, but it doesn't change the overall wave count. It also doesn't change the potential for an impulse, and it hasn't broken below support. So really, from a parameters point of view, nothing has changed, but definitely it is a bit of a warning, that sharp pullback. So I'm definitely considering alternative interpretations. What I will remove now is this previous wave 2 support area. We don't need that anymore, but I will add that where we could find support in a diagonal pattern in case now upper micro support breaks. Let me see. Okay, so there are basically now two support levels that matter in the short term, or areas. So we have this upper micro support that's located between 96.7 cents and $1.04. As long as this area is holding, it could be an impulse. So, I mean, it might be worth watching for a potential upside reversal from here. If it breaks below it, I will consider this a B wave in a diagonal. Now, in a diagonal, if it's a B wave, it might even be quite deep, that pullback. Possibly we could even consider the 88.7 retracement, because B waves sometimes like to form very deep pullbacks. But That could then be a diagonal pattern that we say we have a wave 1, we have a wave 2, we have an A, B, C in wave 3, then 4, then 5. But it's just going to be a mess, you know. So we'll have to see. For now, this is a catching the falling knife situation. So we'll simply watch for possible reactions. For now, there is no indication that a low is in place at all. We'll also remove this previous triangle. Yeah, there's no indication any kind of low. I think it might be worth watching the Bitcoin chart, and only when Bitcoin forms a local low, then probably ADA will have a low as well. And then we need to see from where it starts the recovery. And if it's from above 96.7 cents, well, it might still count as impulse. That's the update about ADA. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.